So I was out at the grocery store today, specifically Sam's Club, and we were getting ready for our Easter holiday. We were looking at meat prices as well, just in general to see, what is the price of meat at Sam's Club. Last summer, I did some videos on Sam's Club, including one comparing the prices at Sam's Club and Costco. I also did a video talking about sort of meat additives that you might find uniquely at Costco and at Sam's Club, specifically this meat tenderizing process they use that pokes tiny little holes in the meat, then causing the bacteria from the surface to get into the meat, which is not something most people need to be aware of or, worried about. But if you have histamine issues, this might be the cause of why some meats are bad for you. This is tenderized meat. You can find the video easily enough to watch if you want to see that and need more information. But I was at Sam's Club today picking up, some butter, wanted to pick up some hamburger patties and some other things, and I was looking at the meat prices, and man, I will tell you, if you have a Sam's Club membership now, today, go, because they will have marked down the ribeye roasts. The last time you'll be able to get them until probably Thanksgiving at most places. They had them marked down, but 25%. They were trying to get rid of them. Wonderful deal. So that is my sort of public service announcement here. But I noticed something. I was there looking at hamburger patties. I've got family coming into town this week, and I've got a brand spanking new Pit Boss griddle, gas-powered griddle, not a grill, but a griddle, flat top outdoor cooking surface powered by gas. And we want to do things on a budget while they're here. And so one of the things I'm going to be doing is cooking burgers. Everybody loves burgers. When you do carnivore, it's easy to stick to carnivore just by eating hamburger patties, especially if you cook them yourself, right? And so I thought, okay, let's pick up a ton of burgers because I don't have that many hamburger patties from the rancher I buy from, and I neglected to go visit him this week. So sad to say, I picked up some patties instead of just hand forming them myself because I've never actually been that good at that. And I was looking at the meat aisle, the frozen meat aisle. So if at Sam's Club, just like at Costco, hamburger patties sometimes are found in the fresh meat aisle, but you can find them in the frozen section like you can at a typical grocery store. And they have a variety of them, including Impossible Burgers, that section is always full. There's always no more than one pack missing. Enough people are buying it to keep Sam's Club and Walmart buying those and stocking them, but in general, no one's buying the Impossible or Beyond patties. But they have a variety of them, and I ended up going for the grass-fed hamburger patties. They were 80-20 blend because they had a single ingredient, grass-fed beef. Good deal. It's all you want. And I only looked at the label because I caught out of the corner of my eye something when checking the macros, the fat to protein ratio, on a different one. So here, this is the Maker's or Members Mark, rather. Maker's Mark is something entirely different. The Members Mark brand hamburger patties. These are Angus beef patties. This was my initial choice because they were cheaper than the grass-fed patties. But I checked when checking the back of the label on the macros, I noticed something weird. Notice anything about the ingredients? The ingredients should just say Angus beef, right? This is an Angus beef patty, should just say Angus beef. But no, there's a couple of things here. One is beef flavoring and the other is cottonseed oil. Okay, so first, what in the world is beef flavoring? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But it is one of those natural flavorings, and I've done videos on natural flavorings before, and they usually come from pretty disgusting places. In some cases, they come from coal mines. Yes, coal is a natural flavoring. And other times, they come from the glands found on the backside of beavers, because that's at least a carnivore natural flavoring, strictly speaking. But they have no business in a hamburger patty. What in the world are they doing adding extra flavoring to beef? And if you actually look carefully at a lot of grocery stores, you will find that beef flavoring is added to ground beef, to roasts. You'll find that chicken flavoring or chicken stock is often added to chicken breasts and other things. Why are they doing this? Well, to make it more palatable, to make it hyper palatable, so you will buy more of it and buy it only from them. You'll get used to their flavor, and then you'll start wondering, well, why doesn't anybody else's measure up? That's why they do it. But I got to ask, why are they adding cottonseed oil to hamburger patties? They're literally adding not only a seed oil, but one of the most inflammatory seed oils out there. This is cotton seeds were never meant for human consumption. That's not what they're for. They're for planting in the ground to grow more cotton, to make clothing and other sorts of things. They're not for human consumption. And yet that's what they do. They put that oil, that industrial seed oil, into your hamburger patties. Go to your freezer after you're done watching this video before you queue up any other videos. If you have pre-made frozen hamburger patties, the kind that come in the big tube packaging from any grocery store, and look at the label. If you've been eating them for a long time and you find that ones you have seed oils in them, I mean, you could just throw them away. That's your call. Or you could just finish the pack and remember next time to look for a different option. But you got to look at the label, folks. You always have to look at the label because oftentimes there are additives added to these things. They were clearly using a leaner beef and then using some scientific formula to get it to the 80-20% ratio that is often considered typical or ideal for hamburger patties. But instead of just using fattier beef, instead of just adding ground up fat trimmings from the briskets that they sell, or adding the fat from the cow in general when it was in processing that they weren't going to sell to any, rendering plant to make any of the industrial products that beef fat is made with, or, just for commercially available tallow. No, they, instead of using it for that or just grinding it up and adding it to the ground beef, they added cottonseed oil, one of the nastiest oils on the market. And this is why I tell you always, always, always read your labels when you buy something from the grocery store, even if it looks like it's just a hamburger patty, because oftentimes it's not. When it's just a roast, it may have had vegetable broth added to it, beef broth. It may have had other things. And if you're buying broth from the store, read the label. You're going to find that most, if not every single commercially available bone broth out there is made the way broth traditionally is. Typically with vegetables, which usually means onions and celery and carrots. Which is fine if your body can tolerate that and you're not a strict carnivore. But if you're like me and you try to be a strict carnivore, this isn't the best thing. And this is why I've gotten in the habit of reading every single label. There have been plenty of times where I haven't bought chicken wings from Sam's Club, Walmart, any of these kind of grocery stores because they have been pre-brined to make them more flavorful, to make them more juicy. That's why they do this. The mind-blowing thing is, of course, that they've actually added seed oils, industrial, nasty seed oils that should not be in any food, should not be legal for human consumption, but are in almost everything we eat. So do yourself a favor after this video, or pause the video here. Go to your freezer if you're at home. Check your freezer. Look at the hamburger patties you've bought. And let me know in the comments if your hamburger patties in your freezer contain cottonseed oil or something nasty like it, or beef flavoring, whatever that is, or anything other than beef, maybe a little bit of salt. I understand if they add a little bit of sodium to the hamburger, although they shouldn't really even be adding that either because not everybody wants that. When you buy beef, you should just be getting beef. So read your labels, folks. Nearly stepped on a little booby trap there buying bad beef. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this, please. Like and subscribe if you haven't. It does help, as does sharing this on social media. That helps a lot too. I'm Anthony Stine, the Practical Carnivore. Thanks for your time today.